Okay, so here I am, starting the process. First time that I will have been into my hives this season. The family doesn't really like the smell of the smoke using pine needles, but it does stay lit for much longer. There we go. So got a nice smoke. You get out of your habits real quick when you leave your bees alone for a couple of months, and it takes a bit of thinking and making a few mistakes to get used to it again. Okay, so the first step is to smoke the hive. So I just poke a little bit under the lid and give it a minute. Now we'll give it a heft. It's not overly heavy. I'm guessing I don't need to do an awful lot at the moment as far as putting another super on top or doing a split. So this is the very first inspection for the season. Okay, so we'll open the lid away from your face and lift it. There's a lot of condensation on there. So obviously there's some kind of issue in there with ventilation. You can actually see it dripping down to the bottom, so there's that much moisture in there. Alright, so there's a bit of drone comb. Now I run my hives foundationless and I use these WSP depth frames. I have them for the brood chamber as well as above an excluder, and that way anything that I want to rotate up can come up. They're the same height, there's no issues there. So that will be being rotated out this season. I've got a bit of honey stores there. Now this colony is going to a friend of mine. Oh, see, look at that, that's just awful. So as soon as I can start rotating frames out, once we're on a honey flow, that will be gone. So there's nectar in there, and a lot of it. It's quite heavy. Starting to cap it there. So the bees are very quiet today. And it's almost a full frame of capped honey. Well, it looks like a queen cup on the bottom there, but it is empty. Beautiful comb. We've got cape weed at the moment coming out in flower, and so that accounts for the beautiful yellow, the deep yellow of the wax. So they're just repairing that bit of wax. Okay. I can just hear the noise in the brood chamber here. The bees are not enjoying the sound of that scraping, but I do want to keep the frames clean. Okay. So I'll take that one off, rest it on the lid, and now we get to look at the bottom box. Looking into here, I can see that there is brood on all of the frames. So that tells me that there's plenty of bees in this hive. But there are also drone cells that I can see protruding from the sides. And let me have a look. Plenty of nectar. Just nectar for that one. So the outside frame is completely empty. So there's pollen and nectar. I don't see any eggs. Oh, lots of pollen in there. Lots and lots of pollen. Okay, you can see the drone comb. So that's it here with the bullet end looking comb. There's a cold breeze sprung up, so I don't actually want to keep this open much longer. Now you probably can't see it, but in here I can see small larvae in this area. Can't see eggs. Between all of those different types of larvae, I can be sure that I've got plenty of room in there to expand without having to swarm. They've got some pollen. Put that frame back in there. So I'm satisfied with those, that they are not at a swarming point right now. They have enough reserves to keep going. There's a nectar flow about to start and they've got plenty of room. And I'm happy with that. So we'll just give these guys time to build up, which they will do over the coming month. Now one of these, there's one more frame to go back in. There we go. So we'll just put that back over the top. Close it back up and let them do what they do. Now you might have noticed that I've got this entrance reduced. It's about 1 inch wide at the bottom, so the bees coming and going are fine, but if anyone tries to rob the hive out in the early stages of spring, these guys do actually have a little bit of honey in there. It would be the end of them if that was the case, if they could be rubbed out, but it's tied down nicely together and it's got the entrance reduced. So at this point we'll just leave them to get on with doing what they're doing, and we'll leave it at that. And you might not have noticed all the sounds, but I have an audience.